Hey there. Welcome to How to Succeed on a Unit Exam. So here we go. Okay, the first thing you want to do is, we'll just use Unit 1, but it all applies the same way. So let's go to Unit 1, January 21st to February 15th. And let's go to Reconstruction. Now, Reconstruction is a little bit weird because it has an assignment associated with it. It's the only one that has an assignment associated with it. So there's a film to watch with some questions to respond to as you're watching the film. And while we're here, we'll just go over that real quick. So watch the film by clicking here. All right. And have your questions already printed out and just respond to them. Oops, let me turn that off. And just respond to them as you watch the film. It should go in order. And then when you're ready, you'll click that link right here and submit your responses. And that is due by the 31st. But get it done as quickly as possible. Don't wait till the 31st to do it. Like anything else, don't procrastinate. You'll have a hard time succeeding. Okay, so to go to the lectures, because the unit exams will be based on the lectures. You'll have to write a 6 to 10 paragraph essay based on each lecture. And how you prepare for them is, well, let me get one of these guys right here. Get yourself one of these, a pen or pencil, whichever, and use a spiral notebook or a binder, whatever it is, but have a designated spiral notebook or binder for this class. And first thing you want to do is write down Reconstruction. This will trigger your mind that this is what you're thinking about. Real important to do this too. A lot of students ignore this advice and they don't do too well. The reason why it's important to at least play with the advice that I give you and follow it as closely as possible is because I imagine most of you are not inherently interested in this topic, right? You're taking this class because it's part of the core. So you want to really help this gray matter up here in as many ways as possible so it can stay focused on the goals and expectations of the course so you can succeed, right? Most of you are probably taking this course intending to earn a B or an A, right? So you want to key in on that word right there. So the key thing here is that you are earning, right? Earning the grade. So if you ever hear yourself saying, oh, I got a B or I want an A, how do I make an A? Get that kind of thinking out of your head. You want to figure out how do I earn these symbols of success. And forget about them. Just do what you need to do to succeed and the grade will follow. So the key word here is earn, right? So here's how you do it. Follow this advice. You guys will do wonderful. So with this magic wand here, write down Reconstruction and write down the essay question. The essay question's right there. Discuss the two constitutional theories that evolved around the question of Reconstruction. Within your discussion, identify and describe 3 phases of Reconstruction and how congressional Reconstruction was a reaction to the weaknesses of presidential Reconstruction. And then describe the Compromise of 1877 and its effect on reestablishing white supremacy. So write that down so you know what the essay question is. Now, how to prepare for each essay is you're going to watch the lectures. Lectures are segmented in anywhere from 5 to sometimes up to 20-minute lectures. And how they're divided up is by what are called learning objectives. And the learning objectives simply are a breakdown of the lecture, of the essay question, right? So the learning objectives just break down the essay question and present it in bits so you can build your essay. Typically, not always, but typically, a learning objective will provide you with enough information to write 1 to maybe 3 paragraphs, right, for your 6 to 10 paragraph essay. So learning objective 1 is pretty short and sweet to the point. It's probably going to be a paragraph, maybe 2 paragraphs, just depending on how you write. So what I would do is I would also write down every learning objective. Start with learning objective 1, of course. Write down with your magic wand here, discuss the 2 constitutional theories that evolved around the question of Reconstruction. Right. In other words, what were the questions regarding Reconstruction regarding the sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied here because there's somebody out there making faces at me. Stop. Regarding the Constitution. Okay, so write that down and then push play.
Hey everybody, we're going to be looking at Reconstruction.
And for some reason, if it doesn't work within the window here, like you push play and it does something weird, like doesn't work, click right here, and it will open up into the YouTube channel, right? If you happen to miss that, I click the little YouTube icon here. So check that out if that ever happens. Watch the video with the learning objective in mind. Now you really want to write that down, because what that will do is it will trigger your brain to look for this information about questions that are revolving around the Constitution and Reconstruction, right? So what are these questions, right? So if you watch the whole video and there weren't 2 questions that were brought up, well, maybe you missed it, or maybe I posted the wrong lecture, or it's a really bad lecture that has nothing to do with the learning objective, right? So you want to, basically these learning objectives there are to help navigate you. So you watch the whole thing, take notes, but don't fret too much on your first go around. You're going to want to watch this several times, maybe up to 3 times. The first time, just write down dates, names as you see fit in the spirit of responding to the learning objective. But don't worry if your notes are right or if they're wrong or whatever the case may be. You want to avoid, some students really are ambitious students, write down every single word I say. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Right? Don't write down every single word I say. Right? So just write down notes as you see fit. Names, dates, individuals that I talk about, court cases, laws, battles, whatever the case is. But don't worry if you get it all. If you get it at all, you probably won't get it the first time around. I guarantee you, you won't get it. Maybe you will, but more often than not, most students don't get it the first time around. Why? Because you're inherently not interested in this stuff, right? I'm hoping to change that. I hope you do become interested in the historical narrative of the United States. It's really important, and it's a real powerful tool that's used by a lot of politicians against us, because they use historical themes and they say, you know, we've got to do this because historically we've always done this kind of thing. And if you don't know history, it's really easy to get swayed by slimy politicians who want their way with you, and which means they want your money. When you're done with this, don't worry if you don't get it or not. Just move on to the next one. Write down learning objective 2. Discuss presidential Reconstruction and how its weaknesses led to congressional Reconstruction. Write that down. Same thing. Click, view it, listen, write down notes. Do write notes, but don't worry if your notes are right or wrong, right? Don't worry if you get it or not. Learning objective 3, same thing. Learning objective 4, same thing. Just go through it. Don't worry if you get it or not. You probably won't, right? And then walk away. Move on to the next lecture, or do something. If you have another class, which you probably do, work on another class, or go for a run or eat or something. Forget about it, right? Forget about it. This is why it's important to have a set schedule so you can give yourself this opportunity. Come back to it the next day or a couple of hours or whatever the case is, whatever schedule you've set for yourself. Come back to it and then view it again and take notes accordingly. And what you'll find is the second time you'll begin to maybe not get it 100%, but it'll make a lot more sense, especially if you come back to it the next day. Because what you will have done is you will allow your brain to sleep. And sleep is incredibly important to studying. Incredibly important. It's essential. And a lot of students aren't aware of that, and this is why they struggle earning D's or C's or failing classes. They don't realize that they need to give their brain some space. Because what happens when you sleep, what happens physiologically when you sleep, when you dream, those aren't just like neat stories that happen inside your head that you get to talk about the next day. That's your brain literally organizing information within its structure and putting it in the appropriate spaces. Right? So whatever happens to you during the day, your history homework, driving around McAllen or Mission or whatever the case is, talking to people, being confused, having insightful ideas, watching a movie, all of that gets rehashed and organized. So that's why it's really important never to procrastinate in college if you intend to succeed. Because if you don't give your brain that opportunity to organize the information and put it in its appropriate memory boxes or files or whatever metaphor we want to use, then you'll never get the information, right? School will be stressful and you'll hit your head against the wall and you'll say, I don't get it, right? So it's real important to have a set schedule and not put things off so you can give your brain the opportunity for what it needs to do. After the second time, forget about it. Don't worry if you got it or not, and come back to it the next day or a couple of days later and go through it again. I know it takes a while, but you're here to succeed, so you want to go through the steps to succeed. The third time, you'll find that you will get this, and then you'll find that you might be able to take even more detailed notes. Right? The third time. And then as soon as you're done watching for the third time the lecture segments, the learning objectives, write yourself the essay. Don't worry if it's right or wrong. Just look at your notes, organize between learning objectives. Learning objective 1's got notes. Learning objective 2, you want to put space in between each learning objective in your spiral notebook. Right? Learning objective 1, give yourself about 5 or 6 lines of space. Learning objective 2, look at those notes, and then try to write a paragraph or 2 with those notes. Learning objective 3, look at those notes and try to write a paragraph or 2 with those notes. Learning objective 4, write a paragraph or 2, maybe 3, who knows. And then you'll have yourself a 6 to 10 paragraph essay. Right? Really take that advice. And then what happens during the exam, let me back up here. So you got Reconstruction, you've got the West, social Darwinism, the labor movement. You want to go through all of these, and then you're ready to take the exam. It's open now, but it expires February 12th. So make sure you have your little expiration worksheet with you so you're aware of all the due dates. Right, real important. So when you're ready, go ahead and take it. And so for exam 1, what will happen is the exam will randomly select two of these. So it'll either be, so your exam will either have Reconstruction or social Darwinism or the West, place of process, and the labor movement. It'll have 2 of these essays from the lectures for you to respond to. So there'll be 2 for this one. The rest will have 3. And what will happen with the rest is, so for Unit 2, let's just go to Unit 2 real quick. It will randomly select either Dawn of the Empire, the Progressive Era, women's suffrage, or World War I. We'll randomly select 2 of those. Randomly, I think I chewed my word there. Randomly select 2 of those, and for Unit 1, it will go back and randomly select 1 of those. So never throw your notes away, right? So, but that's basically how you prepare. Right? Give yourself a set schedule, stick to that schedule, let everyone know that this is my schedule, and go through these lectures at least 3 times. The first couple of times you go through them, don't give yourself any expectations of getting it, because you probably won't. Right? But you will get it if you allow yourself to go through the process of allowing your brain to organize it by giving your brain some space, Not trying to do this all on a Thursday night when the exam expires on February 12th, Friday. Right, your brain, that's overload for your brain. And this is why you feel stressed, because your brain is like, what the heck's going on? What is all this information? What am I supposed to do with this? I can't sleep on this? Right? It would be as if like you were working somewhere and your boss just dumped a bunch of stuff on you to do and have it done by tomorrow. Right? It's stressful, right? Your brain, you got to be gentle to this thing, right? It's evolved over millions of years, and it's a beautiful organ, but you have to know how it works. Right? It works in a very specific way. All of our brains are different, right? We're one of the kind of mutants. No, there's nobody like you. But generally speaking, the human brain has kind of universal traits amongst all individuals. Right? And the one thing that it does require for most people is some space. I mean, there's some geniuses out there that get things like that, but they're weird. Right? So if you don't get things, just know that you're not a weirdo. Right? Only geniuses get things right away, and again, they're very strange people. So don't aspire to be a genius. So that's how you do it. That's how you prepare for the exams and how you'll succeed on the exams. Please heed that advice. Try it out for Unit 1. Try it out. You'll do fine. You'll do fine. Okay. Do let me know if you have any questions, concerns. Email me. If we need to talk on the phone, we can go from there. All right. Don't hesitate to send me your essays as well prior to February 12th. If you want me to take a look at something, I'll take a look at it. Right? I get paid. Not a lot of money, but enough to pay the bills and have somewhat of a middle-class life. So make me earn that lifestyle. Right? Send me your essays, and I'll take a look at them. I'll give you some feedback. Send them to me in a timely manner. If you send them to me Thursday night on February 11th or Friday sometime, I might be able to get to it, but I doubt it. But if you send it to me as you go, this week, if you get through Reconstruction and you send it to me, I'll take a look at it. Okay, I'm rambling on here, but go forth and be great, and check out the next video right below me. See ya.